Meeting is called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, wait.
You want to do it?
We will conduct this meeting in regular format and allow commissioners, applicants, and interested parties an opportunity to speak. This meeting is being broadcast live on PEG Channel 181 and can be streamed on the city's YouTube channel. We will now conduct the roll call of planning commissioners.
Commissioner Peters,
Here.
Commissioner Chapman,
Here.
Chair Whatwood,
Here.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Here.
Commissioner Bruce, Commissioner Bond.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 3, the Planning Commission chairperson announcements. So we'll nominate and elect a chair and a vice chair. So,
I'll nominate Skip for chairman.
okay.
Second.
Do I hear a nomination for a vice chair? I nominate.
I'll volunteer.
Okay. Anybody want to have a volunteer off?
What?
Okay. All right. I nominate Jerry.
Second.
So we'd like to vote on. Do we have to vote on them individually? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vote on those. So we'll vote on the vice chair. Is that right?
Yes,
Are you calling for that, or am I calling for
I
that?
will call for that.
Okay.
Chair Whatwood.
On which one?
Oh, gosh. Vice Chair.
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce is not here. Commissioner Chapman,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Abstain.
Commissioner Bond.
Aye.
Congratulations, Jerry. You are.
Okay.
Congratulations.
And then for the chairperson, Commissioner Chapman,
Aye.
Chair Whatwood,
I'll abstain.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Bond.
Aye.
Congratulations, Skip.
Thank you. So item 3.2, review of 2024 Planning Commission annual report. Do we have an annual report?
Yeah, it's in the package. You'll have to read it. Page 2.
Okay. Has everybody reviewed that yet? Am I the only one that has not?
Should we be reading it into the record? No, okay. Okay. Do we need to act on it?
Need to make a motion to accept it.
Okay, I move that the commission approve the Brookings Planning Commission 2024 year in review.
Second.
Is, it does say one position is vacant. So
We do have one.
At the time of the report in 2024.
Okay.
Position number 3.
Good.
Okay. Chair Whatwood,
Aye.
Commissioner Bond,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. For we are about to begin the public hearing portion of the agenda. The following information applies to all of the applications being heard today. The public hearing will be conducted in the following manner. First, the planning staff will present their report. The applicant will then make his or her presentation. Next, anyone wishing to speak in support of the proposal will be afforded an opportunity, followed by anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the proposal. Finally, any interested parties or representatives of public agencies will be asked to testify. All speakers must state their names and mailing addresses. Any person who wishes to speak may be asked questions by the commissioners. The applicant will be offered the opportunity to rebut evidence. Planning staff will then be given an opportunity to make any final comments at the end of the public testimony portion of this hearing. Testimony and evidence must be given under the following guidelines. All testimony and evidence must be directed toward the criteria outlined in the staff report, comprehensive plan, or land use regulation which applies to the decision. Except for the applicant, testimony shall be limited to 5 minutes unless otherwise stated by the chair. Any exhibits presented will be marked as part of the record and will be kept by the planning staff until appeal opportunities expire. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the commission and the parties an opportunity to respond precludes appeal to the Oregon Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA, based on that issue. Failure of the applicant to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow this commission to respond to the issue precludes an action for damages in circuit court. Prior to the conclusion of evidentiary hearing, any participant may request additional time and the opportunity to present additional evidence or testimony regarding the proposal. This is limited to those who have spoken on the request. Repetitious testimony is not necessary and is discouraged. We have 2 items for consideration tonight: a conditional use permit for a short-term rental at 1107 Burtis Place and a minor land partition at 17120 Pacific Heights. These are quasi-judicial hearings and the Planning Commission will make a decision on the matter. By a show of hands, does any commissioner have any ex parte contact to declare for any of these applications? I see no hands raised. By a show of hands, does any commissioner have any personal bias or personal interest that would preclude their participation in hearing any of these applications? I see no hands raised. By a show of hands, does any commissioner have any potential or actual conflict of interest to declare for any of these applications? I see no hands raised. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission to hear these matters? See no hands raised and objection. We will now proceed with the presentation of these applications. We will now proceed with the following applications. Agenda item 4.1 CUP-1-25. The time is now 7:08 p.m. and the public hearing to consider the following application is open. In the matter of file number CUP-1-25, a request for approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental facility at 1107 Burtis Place. The applicants and owners are Robert and Lily Phillips. The criteria used to decide this matter are found in section 17.124.170, short-term rentals, chapter 17.136, conditional uses, and section 17.20.040Q, single-family residential. We will now proceed with the staff report.
Evening. This is a request for a conditional use permit for a short-term rental in a single-family dwelling at 1107 Brutus Place, zoned R16 and surrounded by single-family residents. It's a flag lot, 0.67 acre in size, which has a paved travel surface and driveway. It's developed with a single-family, 4-bedroom, 6-bath, 4,070 square foot dwelling, a 3-car garage, and a paved driveway large enough to accommodate 5 vehicles, meeting the required off-street parking requirements. Utilities are provided, and the applicant has advised a local representative residing within the Brookings UGB will be responsible for the property and available to have repairs made, resolve disputes, and or terminate occupancy if necessary. We did receive one written comment that was forwarded to all of you from a neighboring resident. I think most of those items have been addressed or can be addressed. Staff approves the request and has provided you a draft final order.
Sorry. Thank you, Lori. Is the applicant present? Would you like to make any comments, or do you have anything to say?
Sure.
State your name and address, mailing address.
Robert Phillips, mailing address 41717 Mesquite Lane, Murrieta, California 92562. We want to use our home as also a short-term rental. We do want to come up here and visit quite frequently. It's always been our dream to have a oceanfront home, so it's kind of like a dream come true for us. Searched up and down the coast as high as Washington, so we're very happy about this home. Any specific questions for me?
I don't think so, not at this time. Anybody?
No.
You want to add anything?
Yeah, we actually have a friend too in the neighborhood that moved up here 5 years ago, and so we're partial to this area. And so we really looked hard, and even though this house was, it's a little premature because we're not quite ready to retire, but we do intend to move up here. And, but I don't know when we retire if we'll find such a house. So we're excited to find it now, and it's a little bit of a stretch. And so we do think that allowing Airbnb will help us afford to have it until we can actually move to full time.
Sweet.
Thank you.
That is the plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in support? Any opposed? Any interested parties? Were you saying something, Lori?
Me, no.
Oh, okay. Sorry. The applicant rebuttal? No. Any staff additional comments?
No.
Okay. Does any participant request additional time to present evidence? Do you request additional time to present any additional evidence? Okay. In any land use decision, the burden of producing substantial evidence to demonstrate compliance with the applicable criteria is upon the applicant. If adequate evidence is not provided, the application must be denied. An applicant may be granted up to 7 additional days to submit written argument. Do the applicants request additional time to submit written argument? If not, are you willing to waive written argument and have a decision made this evening? It is now 7:13 p.m. and public testimony is closed on Planning Commission file number CUP-1-25. We will now proceed to Planning Commission discussion and make a decision on the matter. From this point forward, no member of the audience will be allowed to address the commission. Anybody? Anything? Do I hear a motion?
I move that the Planning Commission approve file number CUP-1-25, a request for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 1107 Burgess Place, based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolkowitz?
Aye.
Chair Whatwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I move the Planning Commission approve the final order regarding file CUP-1-25 based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Chair Whatwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolkowitz?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Your conditional use permit's approved.
You're done.
Agenda item 4.2-M3-1-25. The time is now 7:15 p.m. and the public hearing to consider the following application is open. So we need to get Mr. Langer on the phone. Should I open it after he's on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll reopen it.
You're welcome.
Can I make sense of it? Yes. Do I have a headache? Yes.
That's a five. That's a five. Sorry.
Does that actually say that?
No, but he told me that for a half hour on the phone.
Who told you what?
Is that I guess that house was common. Two houses were built on it, small and everybody else is in
Whatever.
I'll let you answer.
Hi, Mr. Langer. This is Skip Lotwood, Brookings Planning Commission. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start on your agenda item. So just let me know if for some reason at any time you can't hear me.
Okay.
Agenda item 4.2-M3-1-25. The time is now 7:17 PM and the public hearing to consider the following application is open. In the matter of file number M3-1-25, a request for approval of a minor partition to create two parcels at 17120 Pacific Heights. The applicants and owners are Thomas and Rebecca Langer. The criteria used to decide this matter is found in Chapter 17.172, Land Divisions, Section 17.128.050, Access, Chapter 17.168, Public Facilities Improvement Standards, and Chapter 17.20, Single Family Residential R16. We will now proceed with the staff report.
Thank you, re-elected chairs Watwood and the commission. The subject property is a 0.42 acre parcel located at East Harris Beach Estates subdivision and currently undeveloped. In 1966, when the original subdivision was created and approved, this parcel was subdivided into two parcels. The applicant purchased both parcels in 21 and in 22 requested to vacate the lot line between the two parcels, making one parcel. The applicant is now requesting to partition the parcel back into two parcels with the original subdivision dimensions. Subject property is surrounded by R16 residentially zoned and developed parcels and Harris Beach State Park to the south. R16 zoning requires a minimum of 6,000 square feet for each parcel. Parcel 1 will be 8,953 square feet. Parcel 2 will be at 9,231 square feet. Both parcels have access from Pacific Heights Road, which is a paved travel surface. The proposed partition meets the criteria and is consistent with the provisions of R16 zone, meets a residential comprehensive plan designation that is consistent with the proposed use of these parcels and meets development standards. Staff recommends approval of M3-1-25 and has prepared a final order for consideration.
Mr. Langer, were you able to hear all that okay?
It was quiet.
Oh, you didn't hear any of that staff report? Did you receive a copy of the staff report? That was Tony Barron reading the staff report. Did you have any questions, or do you need that repeated for you or anything?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. So 2 is the applicant. Do you have anything that you would like to say on your behalf?
So the applicant, obviously bought the first property.
Will you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but state your name and your mailing address, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Thomas Langer, mailing address 813 Duncan Place, Southeast Leesburg, Virginia, 20175. I bought the first property at 1720, and then we bought the second property then we combine those properties. Both properties were already approved by the city and before. There were two properties, one property and then the second property. For the purpose of building a house, our plan changed in the years, and now we want to put it back in its original state where they used to be as two parcels, the same borders, same everything as when we bought them, and that's what we're in the process of doing.
Okay.
Both of these have access to the city. I mean, these were the original parcel in the subdivision.
Okay. All utilities are stuck to the property line
Correct. On both
on
properties.
both parcels? Right. And there's currently, looks like there's currently driveway aprons there and everything.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other commissioners have any questions?
Anyone?
Yeah. Any, do you have anything else that you'd like to say, Mr. Langer?
No.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody in support of this? I don't see anyone. Any opposed? I don't see anyone. Any interested parties? I don't see any. Any staff additional comments?
I just want to add in the record, we did receive a letter from a neighbor. Not real sure if it's in opposition or if it's in support, but
I saw that too, and I don't know if everybody else read the letter, but
I did.
Yeah.
it seems to not have all of the details of how that lot was originally created or why there was two driveway aprons or service to both parcels.
and point of clarification, the city did not install the two driveways.
Right, that's up to the developer. Right, as well as utilities.
So there's 2 water meters and
I
2
don't think the
servers?
water meters aren't there, but the services are stuck. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right now, it's just a line on a piece of paper.
right.
Gotcha.
Does any participant request additional time to present evidence? Mr. Langer, do you request additional time to present any additional evidence?
Not the one.
Thank you. In any land use decision, the burden of producing substantial evidence to demonstrate compliance with the applicable criteria is upon the applicant. If adequate evidence is not provided, the application must be denied. An application may be granted up to 7 additional days to submit written argument. Do the applicants request additional time to submit written argument? Mr. Langer?
No. No.
Okay. If not, are you willing to waive written argument and have the decision made this evening?
Yes.
Thank you. It is now 7:24 PM and public testimony is closed on Planning Commission file number M3-1-25. We will now proceed to Planning Commission discussion and make a decision on the matter. From this point forward, no member of the audience will be allowed to address the commission. Any discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Sure. I move that the Planning Commission approve file number M3125, a request for a minor petition to create 2 parcels at 17120 Pacific Heights, based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Bond,
Aye.
Commissioner Wolkowitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman,
Aye.
Chair Wapwit,
Aye.
motion carries.
I move the Planning Commission approve the final order regarding file M3-1-25 based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Chapman,
Aye.
Chair Wapwit,
Aye.
Commissioner Wolkowitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Bond,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Langer. Your partition is approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna hang up now. Did you have anything else you want to say?
No, not at this point. Would I get a separate paperwork afterwards?
Yeah, they'll send you a packet.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Agenda item 5, minutes for approval. Does everybody have a copy of those? And did you have a chance to review? Do we have any changes or correction?
Nope. To me.
Do your motion?
I move the Planning Commission approve the Planning Commission minutes of December 3rd, 2024.
Second.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Aye.
Chair Whatwood,
Aye.
Commissioner Bond,
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item 6, any unscheduled public appearances? Amanda, were you wanting to appear? Okay. Agenda item 7, report from planning staff. Any reports?
We got on the agenda.
For March, we'll have one CUP for short-term rental.
We finally had a partition. It was very exciting.
It was already partitioned once. I mean,
We're excited. There's no like figuring anything out.
that was an awful long letter for something that had already been partitioned once.
But, any commission final comment? This term, I'm going to be instituting term limits.
You can't do that.
You were going to volunteer me. I know you were.
Okay. Any additional? Okay. It is 7:29 and this meeting is adjourned.